Hi, I'm John DeVore. Welcome to the channel. Today I want to talk about the love and heartbreak of vintage hi-fi. This is something that's very close to my heart because I have a ton of vintage hi-fi. I adore it. I am so often heartbroken by it. It is a pain in the ass, but I want to talk a little bit about why I keep in it. And I'm selling a few pieces actually, and I'm going to sell a few more. But I want to talk a little bit about what this vintage hi-fi stuff, why I stay in it. I have a bunch of stuff. So I have recently I've accumulated a bunch of preamps, at least half of which, more than half of which, don't even work, or they need service. One of the heartbreaks about vintage equipment is that it needs service very often. And it can be difficult to find really qualified techs, a tech that really knows what they're doing, someone with whom you can have confidence dropping off a beloved piece of gear. So I have in the past on this channel, I've talked about my my Levinson ML7 preamp, which continues to not work. It continues to be noisy in one channel. Which is a bummer because I do love it and I want to be able to use it, and I still currently can't. I have a Conrad Johnson preamp that I have lusted after for many decades. A hi-fi mentor of mine, George Stanwyck, that was his reference preamp was the Conrad Johnson Premier 3. So I have a Premier 3, which sounds beautiful in one channel and sounds not at all in the other channel. I also have, I've spoken about, I have owned in the past two different counterpoint preamps. I had an SA3000 and I had an SA5000A. The SA5000A was, I adored that preamp. It was a fantastic preamp. It always worked beautifully. I had always sort of been really curious about its father, the SA5. The SA5 was the predecessor to the SA5000. It was the previous generation, and it was not a hybrid. The SA5000 is a hybrid, tube and solid state. The SA5 and the SA5.1 were all tube circuits. And they were super cool because they were really low profile. The tubes were all mounted in there horizontally. Just very cool. And I have a beat up one that I got for a really good price, which actually just barely works in both channels, but works horribly, and it needs work. So that's another one that's basically sitting there on the shelf, looking at me with a little tear running down its eye, wondering why I don't fix it and use it. I recently got, again, so I talk about the knob feel of my Levinson ML7. It has that absolutely buttery, delicious Penny and Giles volume pot on it. I bought a Krell preamp from it's like 1980, 1981. It's the very first Krell preamp they made. It's called the PAM 1. Steve Guttenberg actually did a video on the PAM 1. The PAM 1 has two of those Penny and Giles pots, so it's double the knob feel. Oh, it's so good. And that one works beautifully. That one sounds fantastic. Works beautifully. It needs to be turned on and warmed up for 2 days, but it sounds fantastic. Great. Has Krell bass. That satisfies any itch I have for owning Krell. I've always wanted a very early chrome faceplate Krell KSA 50, but I've heard KSA 50s. They're very cool, but I don't need one of those. This preamp scratches that Krell itch. I'm very happy with it. Separate mono power supplies going into a single dual mono chassis. It's a cool piece. I can't wait to get my ML7 up and running so that I can have those two and sort of give those a little bit of a comparison. I'm very curious about that. I have a super rare, I had never even heard of it, preamp. Also, this is from the early 80s as well, 82, 83 or something like that. This is a piece of gear that I didn't even know existed, and I have been obsessed with hi-fi gear, as many of you know, for at least 50 years. So it's startling that I didn't know it had somehow slipped under my radar. It's an SAE preamp, and it's called the X1P. I'll bet most of you have not ever heard about this. So I own one of their. So this is a very advanced, very sort of futuristic preamp. So I remember in the '80s seeing SAE released this sort of computer controlled series of components, and the preamp was the 101P. They followed it with a 102, which was a less expensive one, but the 101P and the other parts of the '01 series were the absolute. They were trying for state of the art, and the concept behind it was incredibly short signal paths. So all the controls, there's no knobs or anything on these pieces. They're push buttons, these sort of rocker push buttons, and the switches do all of the source selection and all of the volume attenuation all on the back panel. So all of the circuitry and all of the signal path is very, very short, which is a very legitimate concept of trying to make the best sounding sort of preamp. A real sort of straight wire with gain concept. And I always thought the 101 sounded good, and it was always really fun to use. It had a really nice tactile feel, even though there's technically no knob feel. The buttons and the way that the display worked was all really cool, and it worked really nicely. And it sounds pretty good. And there was moving magnet, moving coil inputs. So currently the 101 that I have, the moving coil input is out in one channel, but moving magnet and all the line inputs work perfectly. Again, there's always heartbreak just around the corner with vintage gear. So I haven't had the 101 in the system for a long time. But then I was sort of sniffing around the webs, and I saw a listing for this X1P. The X1P is the 101 series taken to its absolute farthest extent. So these have an outboard power supply. They're slimmer, and this was their attempt. This was SAE's attempt at a real high-end audio preamp, like a real audiophile preamp. Not that the computer-controlled stuff was, or even the earlier Mark I's, and I mean they've made a lot of very highly regarded preamps and power amps, etc. over the years. But this X1P really, I was curious about it. So I have an X1P, which chassis-wise, with its outboard power supply, looks very much like the ML7, the Counterpoint SA5, the Krell PAM1. It's very slim chassis. So eventually when I get all those running, I may do some sort of a comparo. That might be kind of fun. I also have a couple of preamps. So none of these preamps will do what my EMT does. My EMT has 4 different phono inputs and will do various equalizations for 78 discs, early mono, etc. None of these other preamps have any of those facilities. So I have a Fisher, like a very early Fisher. This is pre-stereo. So this is a Fisher preamp that is mono, and it has various EQs on it. So sometimes I will use that with my 78 cartridge going into a line input of one of these preamps. These are sort of things when the EMT is not in the system, whether it's down, which it was for a long time earlier this year, or whether it's just not connected at the moment, or whether I just want something different. And then my other backup for this sort of multi-format disc spinning is early Marantz. So I have a Marantz 7T, which is the transistor version of the original Marantz 7, which is a tube unit. So I have an original Marantz 7, which needs work. Go figure. But the Marantz 7 and the Marantz 7T are very similar circuits. The T is the transistor version, and it has 2 phono inputs, and it has 78 and early mono EQs available on it. So one of the things that I'm selling is the Marantz, vintage Marantz preamp that 7T is replacing. So it's replacing a Marantz model 3600, which is a beautiful vintage Marantz preamp that I've had for years. Has always worked flawlessly. It is in absolutely immaculate condition. It is incredibly clean. You would never guess that it was from the mid 70s, and it works perfectly. Phono inputs, line inputs, all the EQs and everything like that work. It does not have the 78 or early mono phono EQs. It just does RIAA, so it is getting replaced. That's one of the pieces for sale. The other piece for sale is something that I've owned for a very long time. This is a Sansui AU 9500. The 9500 is the very last flagship Sansui integrated amp or amplifier that was made by Sansui while still under the ownership of its founder. So this is 1973, and in 1974, the founder of Sansui retired. Everything after this point in Sansui started to get much more complex. This amp, this integrated amp, it was their top of the line at the time, 75 watts per channel, immensely overbuilt. The power transformer is massive, big heat sinks inside, absolutely beautifully made, massively underrated. It's 75 watt per channel, but it is hugely more powerful than that. Works flawlessly. Phono sounds beautiful. Weighs a fucking ton. It's over 50 pounds, I think. And I've had it for a very long time, but it's time to move on. I need space. I need to free up head space, shelf space. Anyway, it's got to go. And its matching tuner, the TU9500, is also for sale. So I'll put a link to our eBay seller page. There will be other things joining that. I may sell my I may get my SAE 101P or P101 preamp. I may get that one fixed up and put that one in there, put that one online as well to sell. Anyway, yeah, so that's my situation. I have a stack of gear. Some may have noticed in the videos, my Technics SP10 Mark II is also down. That one was out of commission for over a year, getting an upgrade and getting some updates to it, like sort of a mechanical refurb. And now it's down. Its controller is screwed up. It doesn't play 78s, and even 33 and 45 is now bad. So more additional woe. My beloved Nakamichi ZX9 cassette deck is also down. That one I need to send to someone. And there's another one where you really got to find the right guy for a classic Nakamichi cassette deck. You don't want to send that to the wrong person. So yeah, it's a pain in the ass, but I do love it. Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you want more vintage hi-fi content, because it is something that's fun for me. I don't like to review current products. It's not my kind of thing. I don't want to talk about gear made by friends of mine or distributed by friends of mine. I don't want to get into that sphere, but with vintage stuff, yeah, why not? I don't know. Let me know. Thank you for watching. Oh, and I've decided I'm going to put on something from Earth, Wind & Fire. I just yesterday saw Questlove's documentary on Earth, Wind & Fire. I recommend it. It's one of the greatest bands of all time. So I'll figure out what I want to play from them as an outro. And thanks for watching. I'll see you at the next video. Bye.